Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hi, family. I hope all is well with each and every one of you. I'm past the email, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Let me firstly say this: share out this post. Share out this post. Make sure you are sharing out this. I promise you, this is going to be a conversation that you absolutely want to be involved in. For those of you who don't know what we're doing, right now we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are doing what we call Fresh Fire Talks, just conversation. It is my strong belief that communication builds understanding, and understanding builds growth. And a lot of us are in the state that we are in right now because we just do not have conversation. So for those of you who are tuning in right now, thank you. Share out this page, share out this conversation. Those of you who tuned in last time to our last Fresh Fire Talks, I think it's right now over 600 views. Thank you so much for that. All of you who were with us on Friday night for our Fresh Fire service, thank you so much for being with us. The truth of the matter is we couldn't be consistent without your consistency. So I do not take it for granted. There are a million things you could be doing tonight, but you thought enough of us to hang out. So I'm super excited about this conversation. It is Ladies Month, March. We're in the month of March. It is Ladies Month. So our conversations this month will be sort of geared around that type of thing. Theme. Let me see who's in here. Let me know if y'all in here, matter of fact. Fresh Fire, where y'all at? Let me see some. I see Adrian's on YouTube. He's obsessed with YouTube. Hey, Malik. First, I drop some fire emojis before we get started. I want to make sure that these young ladies have an audience before they start. Share out this comment. Those of you who are watching right now, I see Naya's in the room. Naya, what up? Everybody just say what up as you come in. Hey, Serena. All right, Adrian, we get it, bro. All right. Timberland, what's going on, y'all? Say what up as you come into the room. I just want to make sure. Ashley, how are you? I see Ashley's in the building. Naya, Serena, Timberland, Tati. Mom. Tati. Dominique, what's going on? Let me tell you something. We're going to have church tonight if Dominique is on it straight. Praise the Lord. Caleb, good. I see more of you coming in. Thank you, guys. We're going to wait a couple of seconds because I want everyone to. Kishana, I need to talk to y'all. Y'all were on my mind today. I got to reach out to y'all after this. Good to see you, though. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's going to be good. It's going to be really dope. I'm super excited. Yeah, this is the start of Ladies Night. We have Ladies Night next week, too. We starting our conversation off today, sort of like a preview of what's going to happen next week. Mary, my sister-in-law, is in the building. What up, Mary? Cool. Good. I think that should be good. All right, we're going to start the conversation. I want to introduce to you our panelists. These are people who I've grown up with. I've watched grow up and I've grown up with. First is a woman who is the business owner. She's a business owner, entrepreneur, Get by Kay. Kayla Salvato is with us tonight. Hi, Kay. She's nervous, y'all, but I know she's going to do an amazing job. She is one of the most gifted, one of the most talented, one of the most, a young woman with such a big heart. So I'm so excited that she's in this space tonight. I'm so excited about what God's going to do through her. And last but definitely not least, my big sister. She is just one of the, I'm telling you, you cannot even describe how kind this one young lady is. She is someone with one of the biggest hearts. She speaks every time she walks into a room, and I know that sounds like a small thing, but there are some people who do not do that. She is someone who is just so easy to love, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait for you guys to be in conversation with Kelly. Renee is in the building. All right, I want y'all to unmute yourselves. I'm going to dip out because this is a ladies' conversation, but I will be watching from backstage. I'll be all in the comments, pushing and encouraging y'all. Have fun. I love y'all.
Thank you, Pastor Email, and thank you, Kayla. I'm just happy to be here talking to you. You know, we talk all the time, and so I'm happy to just have this conversation with you. So I'm honored.
Yes, absolutely. I feel the same way. So we're just gonna jump right into it. We
Yes.
don't want to be on here too long, but as you guys know, the topic for tonight is Black Girl Magic. Y'all can
Hmm.
clap, put some clap emojis down in the
Some
comments.
clapping. Yeah.
So we just
So
start off. You want to start off, Kelly?
sure, I'll start off. Well, we wanted to just kick off and say, ask the question what it means to be naturally beautiful. So, you guys can drop down in the comments and put down what you feel like it means to be naturally beautiful. And I guess I can answer that question, and then Kayla, you can go ahead
Yeah.
and answer. For me, what it means to be naturally beautiful, it just means to just be being yourself. With not a lot of extra added stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just sometimes there's like too much going on, and not to say you can't wear makeup because obviously I'm made up today, but it's just having your own natural beauty just enhanced. You don't have a bunch of extra stuff going on. And just being yourself, just being your confident self, and knowing who you are. To me,
Yes, just to
what you
piggyback
think?
off of what Kel said, just basically being yourself. I feel like simplicity is beauty. So just being simple, just like, no
Mhm.
makeup, sweatpants on, hair tied, like Drake said. So I think that's what natural beauty means. Let me see if anybody put anything in the comments. I don't see y'all yet, but yeah, so we're just gonna go
Mhm.
ahead. Another question that we want to pose to you guys is, what does society portray beauty to mean? Kelly, you want to answer, or you want me to answer?
Yeah, I can go ahead. I think society portrays beauty in so many different ways. Social media and television has played a huge role, especially now, social media, more so social media. But I am approaching the 40/40 club this year, so
Yeah,
shout out to me. But so for me, social media is going on right now. It has a lot to display now, and it's like a plethora of so much pressure. And but growing up, what I saw were a lot of like long haired women, light skinned women, white women, and that was the what I saw to be beautiful. That was what society portrayed to be beautiful. So that's how I see it now. It's like so much pressure to have full lips, have a big butt, have all of these the perfect shape and everything. So society kind of has it it's kind of messed up the way they have it, because people do a lot of things to themselves, and so I
yeah,
like that
pretty weird.
kind of. So yeah, but society puts a lot of pressure. Social media definitely, because it's not real. So it's like, you
Right.
have this idea, this display showing you, hey, this is what's beautiful, this is what's beautiful, but it's not a real thing. And so people who live regular lives can't do all of those different things. They don't have a glam squad all the time, and it kind of it's detrimental, I think, to young girls.
Yes, most definitely. Just to piggyback off of what you said, I feel
Hmm.
like social media and society play such a huge role in what we define beauty to be. When you go on Instagram, you see Instagram models, long hair, eyelashes, makeup, big butts, and all of this stuff. Not really dressed up. They have bikinis on, and you feel like, as a young woman, you're like, okay, well, maybe this is what I need to do to be
Hmm.
considered beautiful. So
Hmm.
definitely, social media plays a big, big part. So yeah, and it kind of, let me see, people confuse beauty and attraction.
Yeah,
That
that's true.
that
That's
is
very
true.
true. I think when you think about just the word attraction, and it just means something that you're attracted to.
Yeah, something that's
So
eye.
it's right. And it's like it has been, I think it was scientifically proven that when you see something that excites you, your pupils will dilate, I think
Mhm.
about a certain percentage, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's beautiful. It could be a train wreck and it just excites you, but in your mind, so I think attraction and beauty, they can be similar. They can be similar, but they can be so different.
So different.
Beauty is just like, I think every person has a different beauty within them. It's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, it's the way you are kind to people. It's so many different things
Right.
besides outward.
Yeah, just to
Because if
like
you're ugly
piggyback
inside,
that.
you're ugly outside.
Yes, exactly. So like with attraction, it's the physical, what you can see with the eye, but sometimes you can define beauty with like your personality or how kind you are, like you
Yes.
said, or your heart, just having a good heart or having good
Hmm.
intentions, that can be considered as beauty. So
Hmm.
it's definitely a huge difference between beauty and attraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, Another question we had posed is what makes women feel beautiful? And I feel like that's such a loaded question that you can go so many different places with that.
Hmm.
So, you can drop in the comments and say what makes you feel beautiful. I think you want to answer that question
Yeah. So I
first.
think
Yeah.
what makes me feel beautiful is confidence, like Mama G said, definitely confidence. And just being comfortable in who I am and knowing who I am, how valuable I am. I think that's beauty. Some people may say like getting your hair done or getting your eyebrows done or your lashes and stuff like that. Like absolutely. But just being confident and just being comfortable in who you are. So
Yeah, I agree with that 1000%. I remember, you know, growing up, I was just like, I didn't always feel beautiful. And it wasn't because people didn't say it to me. It wasn't because like my family didn't throw it on me or whatever. But it's just that outward against society will take away a lot of the things that you hear from your family and those that are important to you. And then some of the things that you see too, because it's like Minister Emo said, we have to communicate, and we don't have enough conversations. And 85% of communication is nonverbal. So that means it's only 15% is verbal. So you communicate with what you see, what you hear, body gestures, facial expressions, all of these different body language, all of those different things are ways of communicating. And so somebody may not say, hey, I don't think you're pretty, but they might kind of shun you and not be around you. Every time you come around, they just go away or something like that, So I feel like it's very important to, with knowing better, doing better, like they say. But I feel like it's important for us to even communicate to young girls,
mhm.
even now, how pretty they are, how beautiful they are, no matter what, because it takes a village, um, like I see, for example, like I see Kara with Tori, and all of the Sundays and they're dressed alike. I think it's so cute, and she's looking up to her mother, but however old she is, or 2 or 3 years old, 3 years old, I think, but
Mhm.
that's all communicating to her now how beautiful she is, and so that right there is going to be something that you gotta train, you gotta take that
Right.
village. It's like because yeah, my mom could have told me I was pretty. They all told me I had pretty eyes, and I would be just batting my eyelashes all over the place. But growing up, it was like,
Yeah. Just to like, let
So,
me see. Serena said something. She said she had to realize that no amount of makeup or hair or clothes can truly make you feel beautiful. And if you don't have the self confidence in yourself, and I feel like that is really key. Like you said, you don't feel beautiful within yourself, but yeah, you have your hair done, you have your makeup, you have your eyelashes done, you have all these things done, but deep down inside, you don't feel
hmm
beautiful, you don't feel
hmm
valuable. So it's just like, is
yep,
beauty really the physical thing or is it an inward thing?
yeah, and I would say that it's more of an inward thing. It's like Pastor Eno saying self love. It's that is important. That's so important because I think it got to a place where people can tell you you're pretty and you're beautiful, but you got to know it.
Right.
Um, I remember thinking like, I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid. So I grew up in hip hop. I'm a hip hop head kind of. And I remember I thought Little Kim was so pretty. She was so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And now I look at her and I'm like, man, she was so pretty. I mean, it's like, but no matter how much everybody else thought she was pretty, she had to know that herself,
Yeah.
because now you go and do all of these different surgeries and you put your body through the ringer, and it gets tough. It gets tough being picked apart like that, but you got to know within yourself. And so that was one of the challenges that I had, you know?
That kind of plays into like representation. Representation is a huge thing when it comes to beauty and self-worth and confidence. Like you said, Little Kim as a prime example, so many people could look up to her and say, wow, she's so beautiful, she's so amazing, like things like this. But deep down within, she wasn't content with herself. So to sit
Right.
there, see her like, do things to her body, it kind of plays a role in the self-esteem of people that look up to you. So I think that was like really, really good point to make. Let's see. It's like you're hiding behind the flashy thing. Sometimes you have to literally let yourself breathe, and then you realize you don't need that stuff at all. That is so
That's
true.
good. That's
I,
good, Timon.
yes, I love to be
Yeah.
comfortable. So I mean,
Yeah, it's like when you and what she's saying, it makes sense, so much sense because you know it can get overwhelming. And if you are just trying to keep up and keep up and keep up, it's like you're running a race that you're never going to win. So why not just, okay, stand in yourself and say, like, listen, this is what it is. This is who I am. Excuse me. This is how God made me. And that right there is so important. That was one of the things that I had to come to the realization is that God made me.
yeah,
So, but just going back to the representation, like, you see people, they look at things like eye color and hair texture, complexion,
right.
and do you want to talk about that?
That's like representation is a big thing, especially now. Like today, social media is a huge thing. We have social media. I know me and Kelly was talking, and she was like, back in her day, I didn't mean to say it like that, but you had like,
It's
commercials,
okay.
you know, you had commercials and magazines, and when you looked on those things, all you saw were people that did not look just like you. And how
Right.
does that make you feel? Like how does that make you feel? I know you were in the model industry, so how did that play a role? Representation.
So, modeling industry, that was something. I mean, to put yourself in a position where you can allow yourself to be scrutinized and picked apart and all of those different things, and but still kind of be like epitomized. It's like, okay, a model was supposed to be like a representation of. So when you have I was a runway model, so and sometimes print, but when you have something like that, it's like, this is what I'm supposed to be representing, this display of what the epitome of something is, right? So I remember it's like I have tough skin. I'm from Brooklyn. So you gotta like sometimes I think so I'll just talk about that real quick. So I feel like what kind of led me into the modeling industry is that I used to never feel seen, right? Because sometimes you have you just have people that kind of shun you or whatever. I'm 5'10", and I feel like I've been this height since kindergarten, quite honestly. So because so I was always tall. I rarely ever got a chance to sit down in class photos or whatever. So I just felt like, like kind of big and doofy, and I've had this same size nose, I've had this same size lips, my ears are big, I had a big old butt. It was just it was like people made fun. And my self-esteem was so low. It was like so low. I mean, you could let a crip walk on it. It was so bad. So I'm just saying. So I feel like what kind of led me into the modeling and acting industry was that I kept in my mind, I was just like, I want to feel seen. And I was like, now they'll see me, right? But I think it was also divine intervention because I feel like God led me there, and that's where I belong, and still do, because I'm getting back, right? But I remember one time I got dissed going on. One time I got dissed going on. Like I had about to be on the runway, about to go on. I had this swim. It was a swimwear show, and swimwear is like, it's bikinis. Everybody fits a bikini, especially if it's strings. It's a bunch of strings. They fit. So, I remember this one designer. He just did not like me. He did not like me at all. and he was fitting me in this bathing suit, and he was like, you know what, just your back is too wide. And and
Wow.
I developed like a little bit of a because you gotta kind of be quick on your feet. So I had a sharp tongue. I was like, yeah, because I carry my city on my back. That's why it's so wide, whatever. But I was so hurt. I was like so hurt because he was like, and he was one of like the top designers. He had all these dope outfits, and I really wanted to walk for him. So he just dissed me. And then I was going on another designer's line right after that, and I was like in tears. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. He said it in front of everybody. And then I was in tears, and I had to go, but I had to go and get up and go on this runway and kind of do it. And then I had, took this breath, breathe and everything. And then I walked out, came back, finished crying. So you learn to compartmentalize in that industry very well. But the juxtaposition of that is that, and these were he was a Black designer. That's what kind of made it hurt even more. But then the other side is like, I had, I was sitting in a makeup chair one time I was in a show in Dumbo, and I had, like the makeup artists, they were white, and it was this guy, there were these guys, right? They were doing my makeup, and he was like, do you want a red lip? And I was like, what? Red lips. I was like, no. They were like, oh yeah, other girls are wearing red lips. And I was like, I'd never worn red lipstick before. And I was like, do you see the size of my lips? It's just like saying, look at them, look at them, look at them, if I put on red lipstick. So then another designer, another makeup artist behind him, he was like, well, what do you think red lips are for? And I was like, oh, okay, well then I guess red lips it is. And so ever since then, I found my shade of red that I liked, and I wore it. But these were white men that don't even like women, that were telling me how beautiful I was and how beautiful my nose was. But then, you got Black people, and they're like, kind of like, no, your back is too wide. This seam doesn't belong here. There's so many times where I could just talk about it. There's so many stories. I mean, people tried to like push my hips together. I'm like, okay, they ain't going nowhere at all.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a tough industry, but I think now people are becoming more accepting. You got people like, listen, body shaming is a thing. So you really don't want to have all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's now people are becoming more conscious and more accepting of, different shapes and sizes.
It kind of reminds me of what's the TV show, America's Next Top Model, right? So I used to watch that while growing up, and I didn't think nothing of it. But recently, I just started rewatching it, and I had to like stop watching it because it was so problematic. It was so problematic. It was too much for me. And just they would just be like, I know they asked one lady, "Oh, you don't want to close your gap?" And I'm like, well, who are you to tell her to close her gap if that's how she was made? That's how she was made. And it was just like, you have young girls watching all of these shows, and they feel like, well, my gap, I have a gap, so I guess I got to get that close to be beautiful or be considered a model, or just I don't know, or just like having natural hair. Natural hair is a big one. It's a big one. Somebody had an afro on the TV show, and they wanted to straighten her hair. They wanted to perm it, and I'm like, are you guys serious? Like, you really want to perm her hair just to conform her to be a model, or what you define as a model? So I just feel like that goes into representation. Like, representation is so big. Like, you can have children, young ladies watching these shows, and they feel like, well, I guess I need my hair to be straight. So that's something I thought about when you were talking about like the whole model industry, and natural hair is a big one. I don't know if you want to get into that, but the word model was semi-toxic.
That can be true. That is very true. It can be. We could go into that. We could go into that a little later, but definitely. You want to talk about good hair or natural hair, and that word, good hair.
the whole phrase of good hair is just so problematic and so
Problematic.
controversial. Like, I just need to take a deep breath because it's too much for me. But being a natural hair girl or guru, as people may say,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of confidence to actually wear your real hair. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
time. And I don't think people understand that. And some people, you know, they just want to go ahead and keep it straight and all of these things. But I'm telling you, embrace your natural hair. Is so amazing. Like, it's super
Yeah.
amazing. I started my natural hair journey, I think, in high school. I was kind of over like my mom doing my hair. She would give me like twists and braids, and I'm like, "Well, miss, I'm in high school. I'm gonna like I'm gonna need you to relax." So my whole first year of high school, I was straightening my hair every single day. I'll wake up, flat iron, wake up, flat iron, and then my hair started to break off. So I'm like, okay, you about to go bald. Like, you need to relax. So I went on YouTube and I searched up videos about natural hair because I didn't have like no really real representation of what to do to my natural hair besides putting twists in it. And I didn't want to put no twists in it, but I had to cut my hair off because, okay, Adrian, yes.
Yes. Okay.
But I started looking up YouTube videos and I started like experimenting with my hair. I had my mom buy me some hair products because, you know, I was a broke high school student. And you know, I just started to experiment. And it wasn't looking nice at first, but as I kept going, you know, I got used to it and it became so healthy, so full. And so some people, they say good hair is long hair. I disagree.
Yeah.
Good hair is healthy hair. Good hair.
Yep.
So
because it could be long and it only be 2 strands. And then how good is it?
It can be 2 strands, it could be thinning, you can have long straight hair, but it's thinning, you don't got no hair in the middle. It could be so much. It's so much. So that's why I'm just confident in my natural hair. It defines them. So
Yeah, and I think it's so beautiful to see different textures of hair. Like I like being able to have expression in the way we dress and the way we do our hair. That's like a big way of expression for us. Especially, you know, as kinky girls, you know, because you can cornrow it and you can do all of these different things. And like Kira's saying, good hair is healthy hair. That's how I feel. Like, you know, people are born with good hair, and as long as they keep it healthy, then it'll stay good no matter what the texture is. You just have, you know, different textures that, you know, but there's an array. And I don't know who decided that this particular hair is beautiful, or one particular type of hair is good hair. And I think it comes from slavery. You know, so I like the fact of people being able to embrace their natural hair. You know, for me, and, you know, sometimes there are complications with natural hair because it's more time consuming. And, you know, it just like, it's a bit much with the texture. I'm like, multi-textured hair because like towards the back of my hair, I think, a Native American and an African person mixed together, right? And they gave me like some 4A hair. But then towards the front, maybe the African just decided to be stronger and just decided saying like, yo, here I am, 4C, right up in this little bang area. We're going to be 4C. So like, yeah, when it comes time to do conditioning the first, we condition it up top first because that needs a little bit more help. But yeah, so, you know, and it's like trying to figure all of those different things out. It's tough. So I think that's probably why people be like, listen, let me just relax this hair. You know, let me just put on a wig because it's just easier, you know, put some braids. Yeah, wigs are dope. I started getting into wigs. And so, you know, I was like, okay, lace front, and you know, cutting lace is new to me. But I'm getting there. I might need some help from Tanasia. Shout out to Zamore. Okay. Wait,
Yes,
Shereen
the
says,
rain.
I love that natural hair is so much more accepted nowadays. I can't imagine going into a job and they ask me to wear my hair a certain way. I agree with that. I agree with that. And it's like how we were saying that before, like sometimes body shaming, that could be, you could be discriminated against by your hair, and
Mhm.
that's frowned upon.
Very much
You know.
so. Like I
Hmm.
know even not even just like in careers and jobs, but I read an article like a few months ago or like a year ago, and they wanted this young boy, he had to be in like first or second grade, and they wanted
Hmm.
him to cut his dreads off.
Yes,
And
yeah, yeah,
I was so heartbroken by that. I'm like, these dreads can define him. This can be something he uses to express himself. So
yeah.
you just
Hmm.
want to cut it off
Right,
because
because it doesn't fit in your realm. But who says your realm is the realm?
right,
It's just the selfishness, it's the arrogance for me. Um, Everybody kind of feels like their way is one particular way, and it's like, no, this is America. This is a diaspora. It just, I mean, I feel like people I don't know. I think it's just, the way the arrogance is, and sometimes, like, let's be real, white privilege, it kind of gives people like feel like they have a pass, and it's like,
right.
no, you know. So.
But it makes me so happy to look like, on social media and see people that look like me now with a
Hmm.
afro or like a twist out and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's so important, especially for those growing up, like to
Hmm.
that it's okay to have your hair the way you want it. It's your hair,
Right.
you can rock it
Yes,
however
right
you
here.
want. So
Yep.
that's a big
Yep.
thing. Let's
Yes.
comments. Are you pastor said he doesn't like wigs? Oh man.
I mean, if you have a good one, you won't know it is. It's a wig.
Hello. Yes. But that kind of goes into like protective styling. I think people don't
Hmm.
understand how versatile black people hair is. Like I don't think they really understand. Like you can do anything. You can do anything. You can
Hmm.
get it straight, you can get it
Yep.
curly, you can do box braids, you can get a
You could
wig,
color it. Hmm.
you can do anything, and it's so versatile. That's why I love it. I love it. I love a good
Hmm.
wig. I love some box braids. I love
Hmm.
some locks. I love just playing around with it. So
Right, right. I saw Timlin's comment saying, "Don't touch my hair." Basically, yeah, yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't ask to touch my hair. Why are you wanting to? Why? Why? No. You told me it was ugly for 400 years. Now you want to touch it? Get out of here.
right, I feel like that's kind of degrading. Like I'm not an
It
animal.
is.
Like
I'm not a museum
mhm.
exhibit. No, no. Go go buy something. Go buy a black doll and touch that hair.
That even goes
It's
in
not.
station as well. Like black baby dolls. Like you going shopping with your child, and you do not
Hmm.
see a black baby doll that has curly hair. So
No, no.
I don't know. So
And
what do
what do
you
you
do?
do? Yeah, and I think that's why I like how things are changing now. I think because of just the way the world is going, people are a lot more sensitive to so many different like issues. You can't say certain words, you can't call people, I think you can't use the word midget or dwarf no more. And you can't use certain words. You can't say the word that rhymes with maggot.
Mm-hmm.
So, people, I think with that, society as a whole kind of has been affected by that. And now it's like, well, if you open up the floodgate you open up one door, the floodgate's going to open up. And so now you gotta be consistent with how everybody is, expressing themselves, and what you say might offend someone. So, um, you know,
Right.
it's sensitive. The society is a lot more sensitive now. I think a little too sensitive, but that's just my opinion.
Most
Um,
definitely. So
hmm.
definitely talking about representation and social media and society, like commercials, magazines, and stuff like that. It kind of weighs on your self esteem. Like,
Hmm.
how would that affect your self esteem if you don't see something that looks exactly like you?
Yeah, I think it weighs on it heavily because when you don't, when you constantly get shown something as this is what it's supposed to look like, something is supposed to look like, and then you come with something that you naturally have that God gave you, and said that it was good and all that, and then someone tells you that's bad, and not just one person, but you got a whole society telling you it's bad. So
Right.
it definitely can weigh on your self-esteem. And but I think that one thing, you know we can go into it can weigh on your self-esteem, like for example complexion, right?
Oh,
And I
complexion
think
is a big one.
complexion is a big one. I always feel like people have a complexion complex, like, this is girl on YouTube, and I love her complexion. I think her Naima Tang, and she's like chocolate, 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 but and beautiful, not but beautiful, and beautiful, because just that word alone, that little what is it, conjunction, but that's not cool. I don't like that, because it's like, you're pretty for a dark girl.
Right.
Man, I don't like that. I think, that was another problem that I had. I wasn't a light-skinned girl. I mean, I'm not ethnically ambiguous or nothing like that. So when when you see who kind of gets picked for like little plays and things like
Mm-hmm.
that or whatnot, it's like, wait, you let us all audition, but this same person is getting the part all the time. And
Right.
y'all told me I was good at it, but it's the look of it. So, I think that complexion plays a big part in your self-esteem, but it definitely played a part in mine,
Yeah.
because I didn't think I was pretty all the time. I didn't, and I had to come to the realization that I was beautiful. It's like Cat Williams said, it's called self-esteem. You got to build it yourself, so you talk to God about it. You can't look to other people for it. It's for you, yourself,
Right.
and I definitely learned that fairly quickly. I mean, not fairly quickly, over time.
Right.
hmm The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means either. But just so
well,
you
it
know,
just means that it's more the more color is that's in like a fruit, it's
mhm.
usually more ripened, and so that's what I think that's what Tupac meant. I'm a hip hop head, y'all. Sorry for the references.
So that kind of like representation and like complexion, it kind of goes into. I thought about like your modeling career, like when you was
hmm
in the makeup chair, that people have the correct shade for you. Like I know looking back at pictures of like Naomi Campbell and
hmm
Tyra Banks, they makeup was not up to par, and I'm just like,
no,
why do
no,
you have them out there looking like that? So
like cake, like chalk.
like a
But
ghost.
thankfully, I think by the time I came around, it changed a lot. And I mean, a lot of times I would wind up doing my own makeup, because I didn't always trust them little bootleg ghetto makeup artists they had. But I think that complex. Wait, there's complex. Yes, she did say it. Yes, she did. um, that's a good song too, Brown Skin Girl. Because it kind of gives the little ones, you know, that that confidence. It helps to build their own self-esteem. But
Right.
yeah, I think by the time I came around with with modeling and even acting, they had my shades, and it was cool. It was a good. I didn't have that problem. I think the problem that I had more so was that you know, people that looked like me didn't really accept me. Except for quite a few. There were a few designs. They weren't like an array of them, but there were a few that were like, no, we come from a magical place called Africa, where booties are big and hips are 43 inches wide. And I'm like, yep, there we go. This is what we this is what we like. So I didn't have the makeup issue problem.
That's good. So we can kind of just go into like self-esteem. Like when did
hmm
you notice that you started gaining, self-confidence, or when did you notice that you had low self-esteem?
I think by the time I noticed I had low self-esteem, I kind of was already over that, like,
Mm-hmm.
feeling of it. I don't think I was old enough to identify it until I was already old enough to be over it. But when I noticed, when I started building my confidence, I was looking at a picture of myself when I was like in the second grade, and I remember being in the second grade. I remember being in the second grade, and I did not think I was pretty. But as I got a little older, I might have been in high school or maybe junior high, and I was like, oh wait, that's a pretty picture. And I was like, oh shoot, that's me. So and I said, oh my gosh, like I like, pretty, I was pretty. So and then when I got into high school, there was just this, I just started walking in a confidence. And so, that's what I did. And also how what really, really, really brought it home for me was that I was looking in the Bible and I was reading it and I was like, well, the God that made heaven and earth and all this stuff that we do and how we are and what we use in here. So that made me say, like, he made me.
Yes.
Like, he got the infinite wisdom. He's got all knowing. He's all powerful. He made me and he said that it was good. So it's him. I was confident because he told me that. He said that. So, and also in Song of Solomon, they talk about, people of Jerusalem being Black and whatnot. And that's another, I don't even want to go into the white Jesus complex and Cesare Borgia. We know that that's not, it's like, y'all took this picture of a person and y'all made him white Jesus. And so that's another story. I don't want to go there, but the fact that God made me and me knowing that he made me and he made me in his image and he put his breath inside of me and he said that I was good enough because, that just built my confidence because it was like, if I didn't have any, that's one of the things that helped me like, yo, this is who made you. Not none of these people that's talking, none of these people with these opinions, none of them, but he made you. So that's what we got to say. That's what we got to like remember. Is that it's his image, like like Pastor was saying, it's his image. So I'm like, oh, he made me in his image, so I look like him. You know what I mean? And then when you talk about, and when we go into Revelation, and you see that he had burnt feet like burnt brass, and he had woolly hair. Yeah. I was like, okay, okay, he looked like me. Yeah, so that's one of the main things that really helped build my confidence. Absolutely. We were blessed with different tones and shades. Everybody else just one color to me. Okay. No tea, no shade. Right. Yeah.
Like building confidence, I would say for me, let's see. I noticed that I had low self-esteem. I guess you could say around high school. That's when I started the whole natural hair journey. And my high school is very small. So when I looked around, it was just like, people that didn't look like me. It was just me.
Right.
I had this afro and all these different things. So it was just kind of like you don't have to straighten your hair to be beautiful. You don't have to conform to what other people think beauty is. Like my dad used to say, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. Like, do what you want to do. So that's when I noticed I kind of had low self-esteem because I was kind of just looking to other people for to be valid. Like, I'm just like, well, I don't really need your opinion on if I'm beautiful or not. So as I got there, I guess around when I started to graduate, I started to see my confidence, increase. And I guess one of the things that I did, well, first, my relationship with God. Like, I don't want to get all churchy on here because it's just
I know, yeah.
But just knowing that he made me and he loves me, everything he loves everything about me. So
everything.
If you don't love it, if he doesn't love it, that's not my issue. That's your
That's
issue.
a you issue. Yep. Right. That sounds like a you problem. Yep.
As I was building like my relationship with Christ, I noticed like he made you in his image. He made you in perfection. So you don't have to worry about what other people say about you. So, that's kind of something I thought about. I know something that I do to like kind of build my confidence or just,
Right.
pick me up is affirmations. I feel like affirmations is
Yes.
a big one. Like, I'm not gonna say
Mm-hmm.
every day I wake up and I say affirmations to myself, but at least twice a week, 3 times a week, I go in the mirror. I'm like, well, you're beautiful, you're smart,
Yes.
you're intelligent, you are
Mm-hmm.
valuable, you are confident, like, all
Mm-hmm.
things. And I feel like once you do that, you close the door for all opposition. You close the
Yes.
door for opinions of people. So I feel like that's a huge one if you really want to build your confidence and
Mm-hmm.
you just want to grow in yourself and you want to be confident in yourself. You have to
Mm-hmm.
speak to yourself,
Yeah.
speak to your inward person.
Yes.
So it all starts with the heart. I feel like it starts with the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it kind of closes the door for opposition or the opinions of
Mm-hmm.
people. And one thing I
Mm-hmm.
noticed like growing up, like when people would say stuff about you, like, you're ugly, you're this, you're that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like it's a form of intimidation or envy
Yeah.
because once
It's.
people see that you're
Mm-hmm.
confident in yourself and once people
Mm-hmm.
see that you value yourself and they want to be where you're
Yes.
at, they will try everything in their power to bring you down to where they're at. So that's why I kind of
Yes.
said, like, it's important to
Mm-hmm.
know who you are, build up yourself
Yes.
every single day. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's a good point. I definitely have a bunch of affirmations all over the place. Like I'll write them down. Like, I don't know if y'all remember being Mary Jane, but I got post-it notes all over my house, inside the closet and the cabinets, and just try to like kind of speak to myself because it's so much that it's you got so much to filter out.
Mhm.
It's like, the society will tell you you're too this, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too this, you're too that. And it's like, wait a minute, no, I am enough. And I have to constantly tell myself, like, I am enough with my full lips. I am enough with my height. I am enough with this. I'm enough with this because God made me. So those are some of the things that I use to and I also consider the source too. It's like, you know, some of these some of the people that might have opinions about you is like, well, you looking at look at who it's coming from, and
People also project their insecurities onto you. That is
they
a
will project. Yes, they project. Again, me with my smart mouth having to have quick comebacks. Somebody told me I was too tall. I was too tall. They was like, "You too tall. Why would you wear high heels? You're too tall." And I was like you just mad because and I said, well, the higher the heel, the taller I am, the closer I am to God. Like, like, get out of here with your insecurity and you trying to project it onto me, because that's one thing I tell people. I said to myself, I said, the things that I have, that the things that I went through, and growing up and self-esteem issues, I was like, even my children now, I don't have any children, but I'm like, I told the devil, he's a liar. You're not going to place them on my daughter. You're not going to place them on my son, on my nieces, on my nephews, because those are the things that, I love them enough now that they're not even born, that I want to speak life into them, So, you just got to you just have to know that, know who you are and who's you. I know it's cliche, but, once you know who you are, that's like half, that's like 90% of it, then the other 10% is just walking in it, I think.
mhm.
Hmm.
I am enough.
Yeah.
Yes, you are enough. I
Yes,
love
you
that.
are enough. Yep. Every one of you on here, just know that you are enough. Jasmine, you're enough. Mimi, you're enough. Kira, you're enough. Timberland, you're enough. Naya, you're enough. Serena, you're enough. Everybody that's on here, you are enough. I don't want to start. I shouldn't start calling names because then I don't know who all is on here. But and like I said, I think it's very important that we just continue to instill that in the
Yeah.
little ones. Like we see Jewel and Mila and Tori and Booba and all of these little ones. It's important that we be that village
Mhm.
and raise up a generation that knows that they're beautiful.
Right.
Because yes, it's self-esteem, but it can be a downer to hear from other people that hear it so much. It's just like you wanna like they always say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
I believe that, and I'm part of that village. So I always tell them how beautiful they are, and how pretty you look today, and because society will go back and forth, and tell you that you're not, especially colorism and all this other stuff. It's just too
Exactly.
much.
It
It's
kind
too
of goes back
much.
to like representation. Like
Hmm.
you have to be mindful that people are watching you. Children are
Hmm.
watching you. So you need to
Yes.
walk bold in your confidence, know who you are,
Hmm.
know who you're valuable. Like you can walk in a room
Yes.
and people can tell that you are confident in who you are. And that
Yes.
self is amazing. Because some people don't even possess that. So that's what I try to do. I try to walk in a room and Kayla's here.
Hmm. Yes,
So
honey. Come on. Where the money reside. Where the money reside.
yes. So
Yes. So, I just think that conversations like this need to continue to be had, and in girl groups and women groups, because we could talk about how sometimes our men kind of respond to us, but I don't even know if we have enough time for that. But yes, Tati, walk bold in who God created you to be. Like,
yeah.
stand tall in that, and no matter where you are in life, just know that God made you. Just knowing that God made you. And when I say God, it's like I'm talking about God Elohim. I'm talking about God the Almighty El Shaddai. I'm talking about
All
Jehovah
right.
Jireh made you. I'm talking about all. I'm not, we gotta go soon, but I'm just just knowing that like, yo, who made you, knowing who made you. I mean, just the fact that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. It wasn't just one sperm and one egg that came together. You had to kind of go through a lot of your other siblings to get there. So, just the way that you are so powerful, but then sometimes we just choose to be average. We make a conscious decision to be average, and that's another story. Let me stop.
But this was great. Something that just
I
came
think
to
it was
mind,
awesome.
like when you was talking about like God is Elohim, He's everything. But my whole thing is,
Everything.
if I'm connected to Him, I don't have to worry about nothing.
Who are you? Period,
That's
Pooh.
that's just
Who
it.
are you?
If God,
Yes. Who
if
is
God is
somebody
with,
else?
if He's with me, who can be against me? That's just how I look at it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much it. I just make sure my
Yes.
connection with Him is ultimate. It has to be.
Yes.
Everything else will fall into place. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's see comments. This was a
Michael
great
is.
conversation. This was amazing. I
This was
think the
awesome. I had a good time. I was nervous coming into it. I think I was telling you how imposter syndrome kind of set in a little bit, but then I was like, but God made it so that we were here today to
Mhm.
have this conversation. So He wanted it to happen, and so, oh, why again? How can I be, feeling like I don't belong here when He said
Mhm.
I do? So
Yes, I love this. We should definitely have a part two.
yes, I would love to.
Yes. So
Jot
this
down in
was
the comments if y'all want a part two.
yes. I'm looking in the comments now. Let's see.
Let's see what they got. Oh, thank you,
Atisha has a
Karen.
question. She says, "What
Oh,
about career wise? Are we confident enough in the workplace as Black women?"
mm, yeah, that's a good question. I think when it comes to the workplace, we have done a lot of conforming, especially Black women, because guys it's a little easy for it. They just throw on some lotion, get a haircut, right? But we some we kind of have like these beauty standards. So it's like, yeah, I can wear my natural hair, but I may not be able to, throw it in an afro. I might have to keep it in this bun or whatever. So it looks contained. And and then even like I remember I worked at TV1, and everybody was Black there. All of the people were Black, except there were a few like little vanilla drops in there, but they were mostly Black women, Black men. And my VP, she was a Black woman, and she was just like, yeah, you look cute made up. Can you wear makeup every day? And I was like,
Wow.
no, I'm not putting on a powder to go to the store. No, because like my face is okay. It's fine. I got good skin, and I'm good. So I'm
Right.
not putting on makeup every day. When I feel like it, because I'm going somewhere afterwards, that's is about the only time you're gonna see me in makeup. Otherwise, unless you're gonna pay me to wear makeup, because but I think but what Atifa is saying is so critical, because I think flight attendants, they have to wear makeup every day. And it's like, well, when do I have a chance to let my skin just be my skin and let it breathe? And
Yeah.
it's like an extra layer of stuff we don't need. And it's like, it's too much. It's already too much stuff that society already thrown at you. Like, I gotta go food shopping, I got laundry to do, to like now say, hey, let me, oh, I gotta put on makeup because these people want me to put on makeup. No.
Right. Like, I'm in school to become a teacher. I want to be an
Okay.
elementary school teacher. If you know me,
Yes.
I love the babies. I'm always with the
Oh
kids.
my God, me too.
Love them.
Me too.
So I just feel like I'm gonna walk in there with my natural hair, with my afro, because representation matters. They need to
It
see somebody
does.
with
That
that
looks
looks
like
just
them.
like them. So
Yes, I agree with that. I agree 1000%. I used to want to be a teacher, and I would make same like me. I love the babies. I love the babies because they're more impressionable. They're moldable. They tell you how they feel. And yeah, I think you would be a perfect candidate to a perfect candidate to be, showing your natural hair and showing how, your natural skin complexion, people bleaching their skin and changing their eye color. And it's like, man, it's too much.
Tati too. Tati,
Yes.
like amazing.
Yes, Tati. I agree with that. I agree 1000%. Um, our little girls need to see that, because they kind of have it a little tough, or at least when I was going, we kind of had a little tough, and I think it makes a difference. It's
Definitely
like a small difference, but it makes a difference.
Yes, wonderful.
So,
Okay, so I think that's it, guys.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
So
It says our parents in the workplace is a job. Okay, yeah.
So
Is there I guess, are there any other questions or anything like that? Or comments
before we log off?
Yes.
It's kind of like a lag.
A little bit of a lag. Okay.
Yes, Atifa. It's a job for our parents.
It is a job. It is. And Mama G says yes. Represent Kayla teacher. Yes. Yes, Diva. I love Mama G because she is who she is, and that's one person who is a great example of like just embracing who you are. It's like, one day she might have longer locks, and then the next day it might be all gone, and she's beautiful. I mean, just the way God made her. And I love when people are able to embrace themselves the way God made them, and just be able to express themselves the way God made them. I think it's powerful. I think it's empowering.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Let me see. Well, I don't see any comments, so
I don't see no more.
I guess that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Our
Thank you.
next one is next week. No, not next week. The week after next.
The week after.
Yes. So stay tuned. We will be back. Not us, but Freshfire Talks will be back. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love y'all, and we
love y'all.